I hope you can hear me well. Let me turn this camera around. I don't know why it flipped on me there. But this is one of my characters for the character resolution 2025. And I got behind. This is actually day, let me look at my chart here. Anthony Starr was day 25. Today is the 27th of January. And I'm 2 drawings behind. So I'm going to be playing catch up today. And I want to do one last finishing touch on this character. And I'm going to consider this one for the history books. So I'm just going to draw in the color of his hair. I'm going to use this bigger marker here. Cover a little bit more ground with this marker here. If I can get the cap off. This one always gives me a hard time getting the cap off. Okay, I got it. And I'm just coloring in the value for the hair with this thicker marker here. This is a Sharpie permanent marker chisel tip pen. And I just want to get that done and move on to the next one. Like I said, I'm 2 drawings behind. Well, actually 3 because I didn't post Anthony Starr the 25th. And today is the 27th. So I let myself get 3 drawings behind, unfortunately. But this one is finished after I draw in the values here for his hair. I'm just going to take big blocks there and put that in. I'd like to leave this outer ring void of value because I kind of like this effect here. And let me get the side of his face here. I'm going to leave a little bit of space right there where the rim of his glasses is so it doesn't blend in with that area. I want that to stand out so you can see, or so his glass rims can be seen. Almost done here, going as quickly as I can. I'm actually standing at my table today, not sitting down. And let's get this hairline done here. I want to keep that effect of the hair, not a straight line, but texture right there. And here I can just go with a smooth line and get this colored in. All right, almost done with this. Let's go with big motions here so we can get as much of this done as possible. Juan Renteria, nice drawing. Thank you, Juan. This is Anthony Starr, and I was doing the character resolution for 2025. He was day 25 in January, and I got behind, and now I got to catch up. Today is the 27th, so I got 2 more drawings to do before I'm caught up with this. The next one is Erin Mariety. I think I'm saying her name right. I'm not sure, but I know that her first name is Erin. Bowen Miller. Hey, you're doing really good. Keep it up. Thank you, Bowen. I appreciate it. Thank you for that encouragement. All right. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave this portion of his hair just like that. I like that effect. It looks like something in motion there. So I'm going to leave this outer ring just like it is and start with my next character here. Anthony Starr. I've already signed it and put the date on it. And let's get started with Erin. I don't want to show the picture that I'm drawing from because it's copyright protected. And I don't want to get a strike on my YouTube channel. So What I'm going to do is just start with the shape of Aaron's face with my pencil. I'm using an HB pencil, and here's my eraser. So once I get my guideline down for this character, I can just get that magic marker and finish it out. So I'm going to start with the circle shape of her head. I hope you can see that with the pencil. And then I'm going down to her cheekbones. And right here, I'm going to put another circle. And that's her jawline there. And then her neck, I'm just going to make off to the side, just like that. Now her jawbone, it's very pronounced. And she's got a nice, small, delicate chin area there. So I'm going to make this jawbone stick out a little bit more. And her cheeks up in here, I'm going to give it a round shape right up in there. And she's got one ear showing. And I'm going to draw that ear right about here. I think you can see that. And there's one earring here as well. So let's get that hoop earring in. Let's give her a little bit more of a cheekbone. And I'm not worried about these pencil lines because I can always go back in with my eraser once I've got the guides down and erase what I've sketched out here. So this is for the middle of her face. I just made a line going down the middle of her face. Her eyes are going to hit right about here. So I'm making a line for her eyes. Her nose will fall right here. And her mouth right here. All right. And Bowen, you said, I looked at all your videos. Your drawings look really good, and I like the Caleb McLaughlin. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bowen. All right. So let me get started with an eyebrow here. Well, you know what? I'm going to do her hair shape. She's got a part on the side of her head just like that. And her hair is just going down. And this is wisping over here. Not covering her eye, but almost. And then this is going to go here. She's got it tucked behind her ear. And then it's falling back like this here. I'm just going to do some simple lines here. All right. And let's get the top of her head there. The shape here. All right. So, you can see everything. I'm going to pick up this marker now and marker everything in. And I like to do my lines with bold shapes for the outline of the character. I want to keep it neat. Let's see here. Her hair is very light, so I don't want to put too much value in this area here. This is the part that I mentioned a little earlier. Let's put her neck there. I'm using a lot of pressure with the marker for the shape of her face. All right. And let's go here. And she's got like a, well, it's kind of falling on her face, but it's not covering her face up. And let's put this hairline here, which is tucked behind her ear. Her hair here. And I'm going to get my smaller marker to put in the rest of this ear here and the earring. And let's see here. Here's the ear. Here we go. All right, so now that I've got that done, try to clean that up there. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but there is a lot of shadow area here. And I'm going to make sure I get that depicted. All right. And there's a little shadow behind her ear here where her hair is tucked or kind of swooping back like. Let's put some directional lines in her hair. And I don't want to get it too busy here. Just give you an idea of the hairstyle she's wearing. It doesn't have to be too much detail. You don't want it too busy for a caricature cartoon. And I think I'll stop right there. Let me put a little bit more direction here. All right. And let's get that marker that's hard to open once again. I think I'll leave the cap off of it. I know that's an easy way for it to dry out, but what I'll do is just sit it on there just like that to protect it from drying out. All right, so now do the same with this one because I left that one open. And what I'm going to do now is get my HB pencil again and just draw in the shape of her eyebrows here. Let me turn my paper to my advantage here. And put in that other eyebrow right there. All right. And she's got nice big eyes, so I'm just going to pencil that in there. Put this pupil in here. I don't want to make it too big. And let's close this one out here. I'm going to give a little bit of space there. And let's color this other, well, draw the other one in. About right here. All right. So from here, I'm going to get my fine line marker and put her eyes in. Well, first I'll do the eyebrow. She's got a nice arc there. Just do the same on the other side. That one's a little bigger than this one, so let me bring that one up a little bit more. Put some lines in there. I'm going to put a little wisp there for her eyelashes. She's got a lot of eyeliner on too. Well, it's visible. I won't say that it's a lot. And then I'm going to put the cavity of her eye just like that. And then the bottom portion of her eye like that. I want to exaggerate it and make that come down a little bit further than what it is. Put the pupil there. There's the light in her eye right there. I think I'm making the pupil a little bit too big, so I'm going to stop. And let's put some eyelashes here. Just ever so lightly. I don't want them to be too heavy. I'm going to put the other eye in here. Using some pressure and flick out to put those lashes there. A little bit more definition here to depict the eyeliner. And let's put that shape here up And go down a little bit there. And that might be a little too heavy, but I'm not going to worry about it. I think I can make that work. Just put that pupil in this eye and the light right there. Make that pupil a little bit bigger. Let's bring this down here. Let's close that out. And I like to keep my cool because if I think about what I'm doing so much, you know, it makes me a bit nervous there. So let's see, let's get her nose in. And I actually put her nose line in a little bit too high. So I'm going to bring that down some. Let's put her nose right about here. And I'm just going to draw in a ball right there. And to this ball, I can add the nostrils, and they're very low. You don't see too far up into her nose at all. Some people have nostrils that you can look, when you look at them, you can kind of see into their nose, but not the case here. And so we're going to just finish that out just like that. And all right, and with my small marker, I'm going to do this here and draw her nose in. All right, and let's put this mark here. And let's put her mouth in now. Small nose. This is the cleft in her mouth here. I'm going to turn the paper my way so I can see a little bit better. And let's see, top lip right here. Bottom lip. Just like that. And then here's her chin there. I put a little mark there for her chin. And let me get my marker and just put that little mark there. And let's put her mouth in. There's the bottom portion of her lip. Well, the top portion of her upper lip. There's the bottom lip right there. Let's connect that. And then there's the mark for the chin. I don't know if I made her look a little older or not, but I'm going to keep going with this. Now, the lines that I use for my guidelines, I'm going to erase out now. I think everything is fairly dry. So I can go in with my eraser and erase my initial guidelines. I'm going to get the ones done for her hair first because I did this part very early on in the drawing. And now let's go by the chin area and hope it's dry and it doesn't smudge and it looks like everything is fine. All right. And so from here, let's see, I got a few more lines I can erase there. I'm going to write her name in. Let's see, Erin Moriarty. I think that's how you say it. I'm probably butchering her name here. Let me get this in here. All right. And let me put my signature as well before I get to put any more detail in. I think I want to go this route here. Readaroo. This is January 2025. So everything's signed in, and now I can add some color on this. I've got, this is Deco Pink, and I might use that for a rosy cheek effect. This is Light Peach. This one here is Yellow Ochre. I might use that for, what, her hair maybe? This is Sepia. Sepia. I'm just looking at what I can use here. For her lips, they're very lightly colored. This is Henna. I might use that on her lips. And let's see, for her eyes, she's got like a smoky effect on her eyes, and this is a walnut brown. But I do see some pink in there as well. Let's see. Just want to thank everybody for stopping by, spending a little time with me here on this live session. It's good to have you here. This color is salmon pink, and I think, let's see here. Let's get the large portion of her face colored with this pink here. Let's see how that looks. Will it show up? I think you can see it. You'll see it eventually. And I'm not worried about going outside of the lines here at this point. I just want to block in this skin tone. This is going to be the initial skin tone. I do want to make sure I don't color the pupil of her eyes. But everything else is pretty much fair game for getting this large portion shaded in. And just have fun and relax. I'm not going to go too heavy with it, because I am going to go in at least 3 more applications to bring out the value in her skin tone with the shadow areas and the highlights of her face. Now, with the same pencil, I can go in around her eye area because she's got the eye makeup on, the eyeshadow, and just apply a little bit more pressure in certain areas like here. And go to the other side of her face and do the same thing, because you can see the makeup there as well on her eyes. And this gives me a guideline for where the darker tones of her face are as far as with her makeup. Let's put a little bit of value right in this area around the lower eyelid. And then underneath the nose here is in shadow. And then for her cheeks and around the corners of her mouth where she's smiling. And right in here underneath her bottom lip or her chin, you can kind of see a little shadowed area in there. Now in her ears, there's going to be shadow here. A little bit of shadow there. And underneath her neck. So I'm pressing with a lot of pressure on this pencil to get more out of it, because this is actually the same pencil. I didn't switch pencils yet, but I'm just using more pressure. I'm going to use a little bit more pressure right here, not as much, a little bit more pressure there. And I'm going to take this down for her, the bridge of her nose. It's not as much on this side because this side is reflecting the light. So just ever so lightly. And then around her cheek areas. I'm just going to round that out there. Put a little bit more value on her jawline. And on this side, we've got a little shadow over here. keep her chin area rounded as best as I can. There, and then she's got the cleft right there, so I'm just going to make a nice mark there. Do the same thing on the other side, but not as heavy. And let's put a little shadow underneath her nose as well. And right here in the cheek area. All right, so now I'm going to move to the next color to give it a little bit more dimension. Well, I'm going to work on her eyes. I do see color here, so I'm going to use this henna and put a little bit more value in this area here. A little bit more value here, not too much. Bring that on around the cavity of her eye, up in here. And then this color also underneath this area here of her nose. And underneath here, under the neck area. All right. Let's go to the ear here, because this is actually pretty dark in this area. It looks like her eyes are brown. But anyway, I'm going to go to her top lip and put color there. Leave a little highlight area. See how I make the circle there? And then I go around that circle, so that'll have the highlight effect on her lips, like a glossy color. All right, so we've got the majority of her face done now. And what I want to do is go in with a peach, or a pink, shall I say, on her lips to lighten this color up. This is Deco Pink. Let's see the effect that has on it. It would smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, that's great, because it was looking a little grainy, which is fine. When you're doing caricatures, you probably don't have a lot of time to do too much detail, but right now I'm on the live, and I just want to take a little bit of special attention to certain areas here. Let's put a little sepia on the upper lip in this area here. Not too much. I just want to show the separation of her lips with this color here. That made it a tad bit darker, but we don't want to go too much darker than that. And let's go with her eye color. I'm seeing a brown effect there, so let me go with this yellow ochre first. And I'm going to color around the pupil and the highlight area of her eye. I'm definitely going to use this yellow ochre for her hair. So with that, let me go to this sepia and color that in right here. I'm going to leave a little bit of that open under, let's see here, that area there. It kind of gives more dimension to her eyes. Mm-hmm. So now, let's see. Let's use a little bit of this walnut underneath her neck area right here. Bring that out a little bit more. A shadow underneath her neck. I don't want to get too carried away with it. I think that's good right there. And in her ear cavities here, I guess that's how you can see it. The darker portions of her ear. And let's go back this here on her eyes. Give that smoky effect, the smoked out effect, I guess you could say. Let's put a little of this color on. You know what? Let's go a little bit lighter. I got this yellow ochre for her eyebrows. And then I'm going to put another layer on top of that. A little bit more of this walnut color, just ever so lightly, because her eyelashes are, not eyelashes, but eyebrows are like a light brown. And that's enough. I don't want to put too much pressure on it. I almost feel like I need to draw her eyes just a tad bit darker right in here. If you guys haven't had the chance to, please subscribe to the channel and help the Creative Atmosphere channel grow. I'd appreciate it. Your time and attention here is very much appreciated as well. So now I've got my yellow ochre, and I'm just going to start laying in her hair color. Let's see, right here. Put some value in right there. This is my first application on her hair. I'll probably do 2 applications on her hair because I've already got the magic marker marks as well that I'm going to count as some value for the darker tones. I don't want to get too carried away. Now let's go lightly here. All right, and on the inside of her ear here, well, it's not the inside of her ear, but surrounding the earring. We're not going to touch the earring. We're going to leave that open because it's like a gold color. And now let's go to the other side. Let's take a few strokes that way. And then bring it up, meet it in the same direction, but don't necessarily touch it too much there. Just leave that like it is because that depicts the highlights of the hair. But I am going to finish it on the outer portion of her hair. Just put a little bit more value there. And here, we've got more value here than we do in this area. The light is hitting this area here, so I'm going to stop right about there. Gets a little lighter there. Here I'm going to put more pressure because that's in the shadow underneath, I guess. This portion of her hair is in the shadow. So I'm going to put a little bit more pressure on the pencil. And let's take that up and around here. And now I'm going to get this brown. This is walnut brown. And put some value in around the ear area. Stomach is growling here. Hope nobody could hear my stomach growl. All right. And let's put some right up in here on the part of the hair in both directions. Not too much, just keep it light. I think that shows up. All right, and let's do the same here, just a little bit. And right in here, a shadowed area. A little bit over here. We're going to put some behind the ear too. So yeah, Erin Morty was day 26, and that was yesterday for the caricature resolution. And now I have one more to do after Erin, and I think his name is Keith Urban. I better look it up just to be sure. But I don't want to do too much because this is a cartoon character of Erin Moriarty. And I think I'm going to say that's a wrap for this particular one. So far we did Anthony Starr, and we've got Erin Moriarty. And the very next one, let me just check to be sure who that one is. I know I said a name already. but day 27 is Carl Urban. So let's see here. Let me get a reference picture for Carl Urban. I'm not showing the reference pictures because they are copyright protected and I don't want a strike on the channel. So bear with me. Let's keep it going. 2 down, 1 to go to be caught up. Today is 27 and 27 is Carl Urban in the Character Resolution 2025. Carl has a rather square shaped face here, and so I'm going to lay a square on the paper with this HB pencil. Why is there... Okay, I'm going to have to figure out how to turn Hoopla off. Why did Hoopla come up? That's a book that I checked out from the library, you guys. One of my Hoopla books. Maybe I could just hear it. I hope you couldn't hear it. You know, that's kind of odd, but out of the clear blue, it just started playing there. All right, let me get Keith Moriarty. I'm sorry, Keith Urban. Here's the next one, and he has a square shaped face, so I'm just going to start out by drawing a circle here and then squaring the rest of his face out. Just like this. I don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully that shows up. Let me turn my paper here. And I'm going to draw another circle right here and connect that to his jawline. Do the same thing on both sides. All right. And then we've got, this is the directional line for the middle of his face. And this area is rather close. You don't see too much. You see just a tad bit of it. You see a little bit more of this ear. The hair is covering it up. But it juts out right about there. Let's make sure that's lined up. I don't want one ear higher than the other. And I think that's good. So the eyes are going to go right about here. That's the eye line for the eyes. And the nose, I want to go right about there. And then the mouth. It's got some rather small features. You see more of his face than you do his features. So I'm going to try to keep that close in so I don't have to draw too much bigger than what I have on this initial shape here. Now, he's got a beard, so let me just pencil in the beard shape here around this area. And that chin goes down a little bit more there. I don't know if I'm going to make it scruffy or not, but I've got my lines here. And let's see, let's put his neck just like this. Let's put it right there. All right. Let's see, let me make sure I got everything lined up. This ear looks a tad bit higher than the other, so let me bring it down a little. There we go. And like I said, not too much of that ear is showing. I'm going to pencil in his hair shape here. He's got a nice curl coming down right there, and everything else is going over to the side there. All right, I think this is a nice lay-in. I can actually start penciling this in now. Not penciling it in, but markering it in. All right, I've got my Pen and Gear chisel tip permanent marker. And let's get this markered in. Started with the ears. You know what? I forgot to pencil in the shape of the top of his hair, which is rather full there. So I want to make sure I get that going. All right, that looks good. Okay. So we got that. Let's get that going here. And let's get the chin going here. He's got a beard, so let me get my thin marker and marker his beard in around his face with just some lines just like this. I'm not making it neat, I'm just putting in some scruffy hairline here. And let's draw that neck in. I'll put a shirt on his neck. Here's his Adam's apple there. And let's put a shirt collar on him. And bring that one around. Let it meet there. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to draw shoulders or anything like that. This is just a quick caricature. Let's draw the inside of his, let's see here, beard. Hairline here. Let's do that on this side. All right. That's good right there. The hair, he's got a wisp of hair falling down. I don't want to make it too big, but just exaggerate it just a little bit. You can do that when you're doing a cartoon character. Just exaggerate, not insultingly, but. All right, let's get the inside of his face done. This is, once again, Carl Urban. Day 27 of the Character Resolution 2025. After I finish this, I'll be all caught up. Woo. I was 3 days behind, y'all. Let's get that eyebrow in. I'm doing his features a little close because he's got a lot of face around his features. His features are rather small. But I want to make these eyebrows a little bit heavier because they're bushy. All right, let's get the eyes drawn in there. The bridge kind of comes in close. I'll probably change that. There's like a cut right about there. Not a cut, but his eyes kind of are covered up by his eyelids. And let's get that pupil there showing halfway. And let's erase that. It doesn't go that far out. There's the other eye there. The pupil is covered up here as well. I guess you could say he has heavy eyelids. All right, you can see that, I hope. And let's put his nose in. This nose is rather triangular in shape. So for that, I'm just going to do just like this. Looks like a downward shaped arrow almost. All right. I'm going to put a little ball on it, the ball of his nose. All right. And let's give him the nostrils. And before I go too far, his eyes look to be green, maybe? I'll have to look that up. Green or gray, one of the two. They're very light in color. Now let's put that highlight right there. Another highlight right here. And I don't want to do that there. I want to keep that nose small looking. So let's get this here and take it down there. I'm just going to do one side of it there. All right, that looks decent enough. Let's keep it going. Let's put his mouth in here. Well, this is his mustache. That covers up a large portion of his mouth. You can see a little bit of his top lip right there. And the rest is his bottom lip. So now I'm going to get my marker and go over what I've added here so far so you can see. Bring you up to speed. If you can't see what I put down, you should be able to see what's going on a little bit better now. All right, let's get there's the highlight there. Pupil here. And let's get the other eye in there. And he has eyelashes, but I don't necessarily put them on the male characters. They're not as pronounced. Maybe because there's not a lot of eye makeup on. So it almost doesn't look like he has eyebrows, or I'm sorry, eyelashes on this one. Let's see, let's close out the bottom of the eye here with this shape there. I'm going to leave it at that. And he's got a bit of a bag right there. So I'm just going to do one mark here and one mark there. And that's just the bridge of his nose there. And now let's put that nose in that nostril. Ball of his nose right there. Separation, there's the cheek area. A little bit more right there. And let's put in his mustache. Okay, here's the top lip here. And that bottom lip right here. And then he's got hair. This is kind of like a goatee, I guess you could say. Connected to his beard. And here's a small smile mark there from his kind of like a dimple. Again, this is Carl Urban, day 27 of the Character Resolution 2025. And as we go to his chin area, the beard gets thicker because it connects actually. I gotta go up and connect that. Bring it around and down. This connects to the beard. All right, and then it gets kind of thinner as it goes up the side of his face. So now we've got everything laid out for this character, and we just need to erase our pencil lines and get some maybe color in here. This is all dry, so I'm not worried about smudging anything now. A nice eraser. Let's erase this out of the way there. All the pencil lines are gone. All right, now we can add some color to it. I might add a few more hairlines in the caricature just to show the direction of his curls there. Let's get a few here. Let's see here. And then you add them this way. I don't do too much. And this a little this way and a little that way. On this side here. All right. A curl up here. So this is so you can get an idea of the direction of his hair, which is kind of doing its own thing. It's a real nice hairstyle, free. And I'm trying to depict the curls as well that way. So I'm going to stop right there. Let me put a few more lines in for his eyebrows, and let's get some color in here and wrap it. Let's see what we can do. Oh, some eye, let's see here. The ear, inner portions of the ear. Let's do the same thing. You can't see it as well over there because of the way his head is turned. So let's add some color here. I'm going to pick up that peach. That might be a little bit too light to see. Let's get this one here. It's a salmon pink. And let's, once again, just go in. You don't have to worry about coloring up the hair, or if you color out of the line, just stay clear of the eye area. So he still has the whites of his eyes, but for the most part, his beard is dark. His eyebrows are dark. So if you go over the line there, you can cover it up with your color that you're going to use for the eyes. So what I want to do is leave an open space for the ball of his nose. I'm going to leave that open. And then just go around everything that I don't want to put color on. This peach or salmon pink. All right, so let's color his neck. All right, and so now that I've got the first tone in, I want to make sure also that I remember to put his name here. Let's put Carl Urban here. All right, so now we know who this is. I don't have to say the name anymore. You can read it and let me sign right about here. Readaroo. January 2025. All right. So let's continue. Now that I've got the initial layer down, I'm going to add a little bit more value with this very same pen by applying more pressure. I'm sorry, this pencil. I said pen. This is a color pencil. And you see how that does? It just gives you a little bit more depth there. It makes it look a little bit more dimensional. Let's go right in here around his eyes. Put a little bit more value in here. All right. I think you can see that. And let's put some shading right in here and around the cheek area. Adding tone there. And in the ear canal. Right in there. A little darkness in there. I forgot that ear altogether. Alright, and let's put some value underneath the ball of his nose here. Leaving that highlight area alone, because I want that to stand out. And let's put a little of this color on his lips. I'm going to go back in with that henna and put a value there. He's got a highlight on his lip there, so let's leave that open. And do some shading on this side of his face with a little bit more pressure on the pencil. And let's define that cheek area there. All right. Let's put a little bit more value here on the bridge of the nose, that side of his nose. Okay. And let's put our next value in. This has been used twice now to do shading. This is salmon pink. And now I'm going to get this yellow ochre and put a little bit more value in here. Around the eye area. And I'm going to color his eye with this. I'm not worried about getting the color wrong because this is the initial highlight in the center of his eyes. And I'm going to get a blue because it looks like his eyes are green. But I could be wrong. Maybe that's gray. I just don't see it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of blue and go back over it again with the brown just in case these are hazel I'm looking at. All right, so I've got my walnut brown. Not too much, just a little bit to make it look like an eye color we have seen before. And I think that's good. They're light eyes, but I just can't say what color that is from the direction I'm looking in. So I'm going to get my black pencil here. If I can find it, I've got my pencils and markers all in one bag, my erasers there. And let's find that black pencil, if I may. There we go, I see it. So I'm using the Faber-Castell black to color in. And his hair is actually brown now that I'm looking at it. I took a closer look, and I'm going to use a really dark brown. This is sepia. Let's use that for his eyelashes here. And sepia almost looks black. It's so dark. Okay, that's good. And now let's, I think I want to use this walnut brown for his hair. I'm going to use this for the bottom portion of his beard. All right. And then a little bit of black because this is showing up as a darker part of his hair, maybe because of the angle and where the light is hitting. All right. Let's put a little black in there too. Mix it in just right at the bottom part here. A little bit of pressure. All right. And let's see here. I've got another brown here that I might use on his hair. This is a light umber. Let's see how that light umber looks. Because I do see brown. More brown than black in his hair. This is perfect. Light umber. And let's mix that in. Blend it in really well with these two initial colors that we've added. I'm going to put that umber right in here as well. That's good. Now let's go to his mustache. Add that color in there. And let's blend it with these other two colors that we've added. Right in there. Let's take that on around to his side of his face. Sideburns, I guess you say. Yeah. And let's use a little bit more of that sepia. Just blend that in a little bit more in certain areas. Right in there. Give him a little bit more color in the corners of his mustache as well. And in this area. All right, and this is rather dark, so I'm going to use more pressure on the side of his hairline there. And let's color all this in. Do that on the other side as well. All right. And let's get the top of his hair. I'm going to leave that a little bit of highlight, so just press more with the value here. Leave that highlight area there. Leave it here and color it on around. All right. We're almost done, y'all. A little bit more value there. And let's get the top of his head there. I truly appreciate you all tuning in today. Once again, I am Rita Root of Creative Artmosphere, and I got behind in my character resolution drawings and decided to post everything, all my catch-up work live here on YouTube. And if you didn't catch it while the video was live and you're here doing the replay, thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions about drawing and I can answer them, I will. Just drop your question in the comment section below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would be much appreciated. And this is Keith Urban, day 27 of the character resolution 2025. Let me put a little bit more color on the bearded area right here. All right, a little bit more value there on the hair. All right, a little bit brown here. I think his complexion is showing up. I don't know if I need to add more value or not to his skin tone. Let's see, just a little bit, maybe this color right here and some of the darker areas underneath his chin or the neck area here. I'm going to add a little value there to give that separation. I think that shows up. And a little value here. And at the bridge of his nose there. looks good. All right. Let's do a little bit more with the lip color. I've got rose. We'll make it too rosy, just enough for the lip color to stand out. I'm sure you can see that. Let's get that top lip as well. And let's put a little bit more pressure on the pencil. And I want to say that we're all caught up. I'm back to where I should be on the present date, day 27 of the Caricature Resolution 2025. All right. This was fun. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Rita Root of Creative Atmosphere. Oh, let me give you a catch up of what was done in this live session. So we started out with we started out with Anthony Starr. Then we went to Aaron Moriarty. And the last one was Carl Urban. I don't know what I want to say, Keith Urban, but yeah, Carl Urban. That was for me. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is Rita Rue of Creative Atmosphere. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye for now.